Welcome back to another episode of Baker Dave Presents. I am Baker Dave, and we're here in the Morgan Hall kitchen in Temple University. And I have a very special guest today, Ruth Ost, who has brought her mother's banana bread recipe. Coming right up. All right, I'd like to welcome Ruth Ost with me today. And what did you bring? What did you bring to show me?
Well, Dave, I brought my mother's classic banana bread recipe. The
banana bread.
Banana bread. Yes, exactly. Well,
how long you been baking?
I've been baking this banana bread. I'd say since I was about 4. I was a helper at that time. No one turned me loose in the kitchen. That's after I baked some blocks. Yeah, 5, 6 years, maybe 20.
Okay.
Yeah, give it 20. Yeah, so for a really long time. So,
right.
Yeah.
20's old.
20's old, I know, especially with these people. It's really old. Yeah. So,
okay, so
I brought a little prop here to show you, Dave.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I brought my
very
real
first?
apron, my first effort.
Wow,
this is
that's adorable.
How cute is this? I'm not going to model it, so don't be alarmed.
I was going to say, you're going to put it on for us?
Is this cute? This is a real apron from a real vintage from my mother.
Vintage apron?
My vintage apron. My mother made this.
That's $60, $70 at a vintage store right now, for sure.
I was put to work in this early on, absolutely.
And you made this banana bread back then?
I made this exact banana bread. Well, like maybe standing on a stool and breaking the egg, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it always starts out, isn't it?
That's how it starts out, exactly.
So what can you tell me about the banana bread? Is there anything special and significance? Like, this is your mother's?
It's my mother. Well, I don't know where she got it, but I know she made it for all forever.
This is.
Yeah.
I should be with tongs. I should be like handling this with
like.
This
is archival.
Yeah, this is not.
Absolutely. This is her recipe and her handwriting.
This was pre-internet.
Yes.
This is how you got recipes back in the day.
This is how it was, handwriting on a note card. And she wanted to make sure I wouldn't get it wrong. So on the back she wrote, this is the one you were brought up on, Rue. Remember the little loaves. This also makes a nice hostess gift when invited out for dinner. Lest I not know
a little tip so that you make sure you bring something when you go somewhere.
So I get the etiquette right from the get-go with my mother.
Awesome.
Yeah. So she loved to cook. She actually wasn't much of a cook. She actually always disapproved the fact that I use a lot of garlic. But she liked to bake.
Everybody loves garlic.
Not my mother.
Oh.
She was Swedish, what can I tell you? But she loved to bake, and she had what I would call a banana bread and snickerdoodle ministry in town. So she would, for example, go to the bank, and in those days you'd pull out the drawer and she'd put a banana bread in. And she would drop by the post office and drop off.
Oh, just give them to random people? Like not?
No, just to her
these people
friends
she
at
knew?
the bank. No, these were like tellers in the bank.
Oh, okay. I thought she's like walking down the street just handing them out?
She was totally capable of
that.
Oh,
yeah?
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, you need more. When was the last time you saw that happen?
It's
been a while,
It's been
right?
a while. It's been a while. She liked to get up.
I'm sure some people would love some banana bread nowadays.
A lot of people are begging for it. Yeah. So my staff itself, I said this morning, I better get up and make my staff some banana bread before I come to the show.
Excellent.
So we had it
so
for
you get
lunch.
to make it again today.
So I'm going to make it now.
So as we always do in baking here on Baker Dave Presents, I don't like using mixers. I like to be able to show you that you can do this at your house without spending $400 on a big fancy mixer. So Ruth, whether she likes it or not, is going to mix this by hand.
Yes, Baker Dave is making me do this. Usually I use the convention of a fork and a wooden spoon.
Yeah.
But today...
What if you can't afford a fork or a wooden spoon? Then you could still do this.
That's the thing I like about this. It's sort of paleo, if you might say here, strategy here.
Okay.
I like that, yeah. Now,
obviously you need bananas.
Yeah, you need banana.
One thing that
ending with my rings
helps when you're when you're not using machines with this type of stuff is utilizing the sugar to help break it up. So you don't have to break up the bananas yet.
I'm going to do this from now on this way.
Are you?
I'm never going to use a fork again.
You don't have to break it up right now, though. That's what I'm saying.
But I want to.
Well, you feel free.
Okay.
But the sugar will help break it up because it's going to get the granules are going to actually cut through it.
I see.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier than you think.
I'm telling you, chemistry was not my strong suit, but I'm learning a thing or two
Speaking
about
of chemistry,
now.
So one thing I noticed about your recipe was your baking soda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that arcane?
I never seen it. It says to put the baking soda in the water. I've never seen that before.
Well,
in all my years of baking, which is fine. I'm not.
What can I say?
I know. But what I wanted to point out to everyone is just an interesting fact about baking soda, and this is basically a quick bread. So this is a muffin. This is like anything else you would make. But generally, quick breads are made with baking powder because they're not very acidic. So baking powder is sodium bicarbonate with an acid also put in there to help activate the baking soda. This recipe, because bananas are acidic already, you don't need that. So your baking soda is activated by the acid in the bananas, which I think is pretty cool. Which is why you'll see chocolate cake will oftentimes be baking soda, whereas yellow cake, baking powder, because you don't have the acid from the chocolate to help make the baking powder work.
So what you're saying is I didn't need to stop at the grocery store and buy baking soda. I don't need it.
No, I didn't say baking powder you
I
wouldn't
mean,
need.
this was baking soda.
Sugar.
Right, here we go, here we go. Oh, this is really a pleasure to do it this way, I must say.
With the
I wasn't allowed to do this when I was little with my hands.
No?
No,
I
definitely
know,
not.
that's why I got into baking.
Yeah,
This-
yeah.
A little side story, right?
tell
So when I went to the culinary school that I went to, that was part of the reason I went baking instead of cooking, is I saw them playing with food. And I thought, this is awesome. I was never allowed to play with food. I want to play with food.
I wasn't either. I'm ready now to do this. This is great. This is completely satisfying.
So we've got the bananas and we've got the sugar in there.
Yeah.
And
So now,
we're going to put, because that's how it's always been done,
that's right.
we're going to put our baking soda into some warm water. I'm assuming that's just to help make sure that it gets
Go for it.
distributed. Well, you're going to have to get your finger in there to make sure you
Yeah.
get all the baking soda
There you
out,
go.
because I don't want
I
to lose
got it.
any.
I'm doing a good job here.
You're doing an awesome job.
Yeah, awesome. This is so much fun, I'm telling you. Any of you in the audience would like to participate, please.
So does it feel
Feels
good?
great. It feels tremendously good. Yeah.
Okay, so then we have,
All right.
what do you want, eggs or butter
Egg
next?
first.
Eggs first?
Yep. Do the egg. Oh, it's so nice. All
Start,
these
it's gonna
yellow
start getting
colors
cold,
are
right?
looking good. Yeah, it is cold. It is cold. Warm it up.
What I liked about this recipe is it's only like 5 or 6 ingredients. Like you can't, like I've
Can't
seen
go
some
wrong.
banana bread recipes, they're like 10, you know what I mean? Like
This is
you don't need that
basic,
many.
straightforward. Butter. Now back
Butter
in the
is better. Can
day,
you dig out
I
that little
agree
bit of
butter
butter?
is better. Back in the day, we used margarine, but
We can afford butter now.
Butter. This is Temple. We can do butter here. This is good.
Butter's better for you too, because it's
There we
more
go.
natural.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not a fan of margarine, to be honest with you.
Well, I prefer butter. It's more delicious for sure.
It is for sure more
Yes,
delicious.
it is. All right, go for
And
it. This
2
is the
cups
fun
of flour.
part. 2 cups. Roll it in. All right.
I like that
This
you're
is
getting
good.
in there. You know
I'm
what I mean?
loving it. I'm just really loving it. It's like making bread, sort of.
And
Right.
what's great again, a quick bread.
Mm-hmm.
All quick breads. I don't care what muffins, banana, anything that doesn't have to rise. Okay, something that it's getting its rise
Both
from
elsewhere.
the chemical, from the baking powder, baking soda. It does not matter what order you put the ingredients in. You literally can just dump all the ingredients in at once and then mix.
I did not know that.
Well, that's why you're learning something.
Man, I'm learning something. You know, I think we should have a course in this.
I agree.
Seriously, I am serious. Let's
Okay,
do it.
well,
Let's do it.
I'm with you.
Because it's chemistry.
It is.
And
It's
cooking,
art.
cuisine.
It's everything.
It's everything. All right.
And then we have nuts, because your recipe specifically said nut meat.
I know. And now, to my alarm, it's pecans.
Because pecans
It never
are awesome.
occurred to me that he would read this as pecans.
It says nut. It says
in
nut
New
meat.
Jersey,
It doesn't even
where
say-
I was raised,
Look at
we
this.
do walnuts, people. All right.
Nut meat. Nut meat. Do you see that?
Are you Southern or something here? You had an issue about walnuts?
But they're just cheap.
Walnuts
and
are
I'm not cheap.
cheaper. Walnuts are
Yeah.
cheaper than walnuts.
Walnuts are way cheaper
pecans
than
are che-
pecans. Pecans are expensive.
Why we did it. We were poor in those days.
Wow.
I know. This is contemporary.
We can
times.
afford pecans now, so we're using them.
This is awesome.
Now, this is the other thing that
Never
you
tried
didn't.
it with pecans. This is an
You didn't do
experiment.
this, but I'm going to show this as another technique here.
Cool.
Why don't you just start by telling me how you normally would put this in?
Normally,
Okay?
what I would do is I would either take butter or I would take a little corn oil and use wax paper and oil the bottom of the pan.
And oil the bottom of the pan.
Yes.
A little trick that I do that is I find extremely helpful is parchment paper. Because who doesn't love parchment paper? So
So cool.
I literally just cut the parchment paper to about. I hope I guess right, or it'll really look silly. Yeah,
pretty
that'll
good.
work. To about that size, okay? And what I'll do is I'll give it just a quick spray. And that's just to hold the parchment paper in so it doesn't go flopping around while I'm doing other stuff.
These, by the way, are my mother's pans here. The authentic small pans.
You can't buy pans like this. Is not a pan you can get in the store today. I'm telling you right now.
cannot, like it or not.
Like it or not. And then a lot of times I'll just throw a little quick spray on there just to be safe. And the corners, because the side is the only thing that's now pan. The rest of it's paper.
That is
And
so
that way
cool.
it pops right out. You don't have to fight with it at all.
That is
So why don't you go ahead
great.
and scoop in.
All right.
Now this traditionally makes, we only
now-
have one of these pans right now, but
Yep.
this traditionally makes 2
Of the little guys.
of these. So you're gonna fill it about halfway.
Yep. Oh dear, Dave.
What?
I don't want this parchment paper to.
It's not. It's
all
your
right,
part. You're good.
okay.
You are good.
All right, I'm working on this with the bare hand, with the hands here, the gloved hands.
Okay, you want me to show you
Is
something
that
real
good?
quick?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, this is the bakery technique, right? So you've got your thing here in your hand. All you got to do is then squeeze it out.
I love this.
See what I'm saying? So you
I
keep it
love
at the
this.
bottom, and you just kind of
All right, like you're
you're milking a
funneling it.
cow.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it.
All right. Well, I have a lot of expertise in that, but I'm going to
Neither do I. But it does come. Anyways.
All right. Well, that's looking good.
So what are we looking at? 350-ish?
We're just looking at 350 for about 45 minutes for that size.
45
for a large
minutes,
one, about
350.
Yeah. Yep.
We're gonna stick that in the oven.
Yep.
That's the
looks-
beautiful banana bread now that it's done.
That looks quite delicious.
Yes, it certainly does. And
Look at that.
how easy
I'm
is
going to
that?
adapt this method. This is so neat.
How easy is that, right?
It's really good.
So what we're
All
gonna
right.
do now, right, is you had mentioned before there's a special way you like to
Yes.
finish this off.
Yes. My mother was very attached to Philadelphia cream cheese, actually. So we used to think it was a
Were you
special.
from here?
I'm a Jersey girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this was I think it foreshadowed my life at Temple University, honestly. It was all that Philly cream cheese as a child that I ate. But what she was to do would cut it and then make it a special treat by putting cream cheese on top.
You have to let me know what you think
And-
of pecans in it.
This will be quite an adjustment, but I can go with that. I like change.
So do you,
I like
spread
innovation.
some on like it's butter?
Yeah, you just do it like butter. And you can use butter too as an alternative if you want. But
I never heard anybody say butter as an alternative.
as an alternative to
Usually
cream,
people are making alternatives to butter.
as compared to cream cheese, which is the secret ingredient here. So there we go. That's how.
I don't need to cut
that's
it,
how
there's
you-
2 plates.
Well,
So,
There you should.
I have a bit of a situation. I'm actually allergic to bananas.
had I known, I would have made spaghetti
No,
alla
this is
carbonara.
fantastic. There's
Okay.
people out there, obviously, that are like me. They're going to be allergic to certain things. So this is. I don't want people not to get this awesome recipe because I'm allergic to it. So I have my friend here, Chef Matthew Clarke. He's going to join us for the tasting portion of this and let you know exactly how good or how bad it is.
He says he's brutal about grading, and I'm really nervous.
I'm not allergic to bananas, just nuts.
Oh, great.
There's pecans in there. It's good, right?
That is delicious. That is a great piece of cake. Banana bread, sorry.
Close call there.
I'm
You
a little
didn't
nervous
try
I'm
it.
the only one eating.
You didn't. Yeah, how come you're not eating it? What's going on?
Wait, I'm not allergic. Oh, that's right, because I have to decide whether I like pecans in this, just as a change.
The crust on that is really good.
Let's try this here. Oh, I'm doing a really bad job getting this up here.
Sometimes simple is the way to go, right? So,
I like the pecans.
better.
I
So,
confess
are you going
to
to change this?
I'm-
Are you changing your
I
recipe for
might
me?
make one with pecans and one with walnuts.
That's not a
But I
bad
thought
idea.
the pecans give it a little
It's like
different.
the Pepsi Coke challenge. You could like have
I
people
could
taste
test
it
this
and
on
see.
the family. Which one's the real one?
All right, so I also had another idea
Cool.
of because I know personally there's a lot of times you have breads like this and you'll have them sitting around and maybe they get a little stale after a day or two, and it's not quite as delicious as the first day. But I have a way of taking this and turning it into like a 4-star dessert, right? Super fancy.
Whoa. Okay.
Do you mind if I show you that?
I want to see it.
Oh,
I want
excellent.
to impress my family.
Yeah,
what can
that's-
I tell
I mean-
you? Not to mention the students.
So
Look
at that.
These are like dental tools, but actually it's an old
Dental tools.
nutcracker.
that's how you used to
There we
have
go.
to get nuts before they came already cut, right?
That's right.
So
That's just-
what I like to do
ooh. This is so fun.
is I like to take the banana bread, right? And I cook it kind of like you do grilled cheese. Only obviously there's no cheese in it. I'm not trying to. You could actually put cream cheese in between and make it like that if you wanted to, but so I just put a ton of butter in the pan. And once that gets going, I'll actually like fry off each side of it. Because more butter, more better.
More butter is more better. I agree.
More butter, more better. So we can do this. We need some plates that look like they're decent. You know what I mean?
Some clean plates here.
So real simply, you're heating up your butter like that, right?
Gotcha.
we're popping these down in, because now at this point, maybe you pull it out of the fridge, maybe it's been sitting out, it's a little bit harder, right? This is
Yep,
going
it
to
could
bring it back
Yep.
a little bit.
Resuscitation. It smells good.
And again, lots and
What
lots
is
of
not
butter.
better fried anyway, seriously.
Yeah, right?
Fried in butter. It's looking good.
I'm going to act like a chef for a minute.
I'm going to flip it now. I like this device. I could use that in the office.
Well,
Whip up a little special lunches.
this is an induction burner.
Whoa.
It's actually not that expensive. You can get it
Really?
for about $50 to $100,
Seriously?
and it doesn't get hot.
I have a feel. They couldn't use that in the residence hall, though, could they?
Why
That
not? You can't start a fire. You can't get hurt.
Wow.
This is the greatest thing ever.
Wow.
I feel like a salesperson now.
We should, because I once was cooking and I
See how I'm getting a
leaned
little bit of color
forward
there?
and I put my blouse on fire. This is all
I
true.
don't know
It
if you
was
can see that or
terrifying.
not. But
This is safer,
starting to get a
though.
little bit of
Look
color
at
there. That's a good
It's
thing.
looking good.
We like color. So what I'm actually doing here, right, is I'm gonna make a banana bread bananas Foster,
Oh, I love bananas Foster.
right?
Yes.
So
We'll
you
have
have
to
your
taste it since he can't eat the
right.
bananas.
I have my taster
Yes,
standing by. So we take our banana bread,
Mm-hmm.
right, that we've now toasted up a little bit. Set that aside. And bananas Foster is super simple. You literally just take some butter. And you're gonna take a little bit of brown sugar. You're melting this awesome sauce.
That's all there is to it, just the two?
No, and then you add a little bit of cream to it. Basically, I'd say you can add cinnamon, you can add all sorts of stuff to it, but I've made it with orange juice that has a nice little tang to it when you do that. But basically, it's butter, brown sugar, and then something to thin it out a little bit. Again, usually it's like a heavy cream or an orange juice or something of that nature. You want to kind of melt down the brown sugar a little bit. I'm trying to make sure I don't have any lumps, obviously. That'll be embarrassing, right?
Is there a difference between using the dark brown sugar and the light brown sugar, or are they about the
More
same?
molasses.
More molasses.
More molasses. So the way brown sugar is actually made, especially in this country, years ago, it would be, brown sugar would be, when you were processing sugar down, you would stop at a certain point, you'd have brown sugar, and then you'd process it further to make white sugar. Now they process all of it down to white sugar and then add molasses back into it, because the molasses is part of the byproduct that comes off of it as they're processing it. So they just, so if you don't have brown sugar, you can actually just take white sugar and take some molasses. I don't know why you would not have brown sugar and have molasses, but if somehow you
It
had
could happen.
molasses
Stranger
and
things
not
happen.
brown sugar, and you had water, and you could actually make brown sugar. So that's kind of interesting.
That's cool. I never knew that.
So I'm going to add a little bit of cream to make this a little mo better.
That looks so delicious.
Wish I had a. I just slopped over here. You saw that? Totally messing up the sauce. It didn't burn to the thing. 'Cause
I'm
it's not
seeing
hot.
that. I'm shocked. I don't know why.
The
does
funny
anyone
thing is,
have
this
that
has
in
been
their
around
kitchen?
forever. Like they invented this. Like I mean, they were making these commercially in the 50s. And
Why
for
doesn't
some,
everybody know about them?
it's an ancient secret, ancient kitchen
We're
secret.
revealing ancient secrets on the show today.
The Baker Dave's ancient
Baker
secrets.
Dave's ancient secrets exposed here on TV. Very cool.
I'm trying to get any of the lumps out.
Are you excited?
This is why I'm not
I
a
am.
chef, because I didn't measure these exactly, so now I have to cook some of the stuff out, of course. Had I been a chef, I would have known exactly the right amount to do of that, right?
Just intuitively.
But while that's doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and... And my idea is, instead of putting bananas in the Foster sauce, right? You got the bananas in the bread. There's no need.
This is brilliant. Will we be seeing this in the Res Hall dining room?
Well, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
So right now, it's for our purposes right now, this is beautiful. So you have this.
This isn't even staged. This is real and live.
This is. All right.
All
so
right.
special taster Matthew Clarke coming in.
Chef Matt is here.
Chef Matthew Clarke. Of course, I have no forks.
Oh.
Operation running.
This is
So you can take something that maybe, not that your banana bread's ordinary, because it's not.
No,
it's a
I'm
delicious
not.
banana bread.
But
But
transforming
you can now
banana
take
bread.
it and use it as a super fancy dessert as well. What do you think?
I think it's insanely delicious.
Excellent.
I would make banana bread in order to make this.
Right? That is super fancy delicious.
Because it would never last long enough. I have to make it for this purpose and say no one can touch it.
We'll just make 2 of them then.
Yeah.
And
this-
freeze one, set it aside.
This is it's really delicious. So we'll be seeing this
Would
on
that be
the
a
menu.
thumbs up from Matthew? Excellent.
Oh.
That is delicious.
Well, again, I'd like to say thank you for joining me and
pleasure,
showing me
Baker
your banana bread. This
Pleasure.
has been a pleasure.
Thank you for this delicious new recipe.
Everybody comes
Matt?
out a winner, right? We all learn something new.
Absolutely.
Once again, I'd like to thank Ruth Ost for visiting us today and showing us her mother's banana bread recipe. Join us again next time on Baker Dave Presents, and remember, every recipe has a story.